Welcome back, once again adventurers, to Let's Play ChäoS Head. In the last episode, looks as though someone, either Shogun, Yua, or somebody completely unrelated, in any event, someone is definitely keeping tabs on Takumi Nishijo, which is definitely driving his anxiety and paranoia to no end. However, one person came to his aid. One person proved to be his salvation. That person was the individual whom Takumi had long since labeled a demon up until fairly recently. A girl called Rimi Sakihata, a girl that still claims to be a close classmate of Takumi's, yet we still hardly know anything about her. But at this moment in time, here we are standing outside a record store because this is where Rimi wanted to go to. And there is just noticed that there is a Blood Tune poster of Sarah Ogle there on the front of the record store there. How very coincidental. In the end, I found myself unable to refuse her. All I could do was haltingly tag along after her. Perhaps it would be ordinary to think that surely even someone like Yua wouldn't launch an attack on me with this many people around, unless whatever happened at the Shibuya crossing happens here. But my fear that they were hiding somewhere nearby, blending in with the rest of the crowd, far surpassed that. I shrieked internally each time I came close to bumping shoulders with the people passing me by.
パトカーだ。
And Rimi has spotted something just as ominous. Rimi's words gave me a start. I quickly hid behind her. Just as she said, 2 police cars were parked in the street, and nearby them stood 3 uniformed officers. And there appears to be some sort of mass protest going on. The police too were chasing me. I was obviously innocent, but the incompetent police couldn't grasp that. I think they have their hands full right now with something completely different, Takumi. Are those policemen searching for me too? Or so I thought, but apparently that wasn't the case. Their lines of sight rested on the vast quantities of people who traversed the road as though they owned it. Those people protesters? Judging from the loud cries, I would certainly say so, not to mention the countless banners and signs. They came out equipped with various standard issue items, from banners to posters with messages on them to forehead bands. I bit my lip upon seeing a child trip along, pulled by the hand of his parent, with "Whose eyes are those eyes?" written mistily in marker on the front of his t-shirt. Looks like the new gen madness has raised to new heights.
何のデモだろうね。
I think there was something on that poster or on that banner that read, "Protect Shibuya, terrorists stop." There were a variety of marchers, young and old, male and female alike. They paraded solemnly along, but once in a while they would cry out in unison, "Drive the demons out of Shibuya." Now if that isn't a coincidence, Takumi Nishijo, I don't know what is.
悪魔
That is too coincidental. Many of the posters were inscribed with messages like "Drive the demons away from our city, protect Shibuya from terrorists." As gruesome as the new gen incidents have been thus far, they haven't escalated to that point, and there's still only 4 cases. This has to be a show of resistance against the new gen incidents. Something doesn't quite feel right about that sentiment there. was no point in demonstrating about it. Yet, clearly, these people are. Very odd if I say so myself. If you got that much free times on your hands, find and kill Shogun. That way all my worries will vanish. That depends on whether or not Shogun is actually the criminal in question, which we still cannot confirm nor deny.
タク、行こう。
Going to follow Rimi's advice on this one, Takumi. Let's go while the going's good. Disinterested, Rimi shifted her gaze away from the demonstrators and began walking toward the entrance to a CD shop. Soon as we came into the store, Rimi went straight for the indie music corner. Interesting. Maybe she's into alternative music. Unlike the J-pop corner, there weren't many customers in the vicinity. Rimi stopped in front of the piece shelf and began searching for the CD she had in mind. 3 guesses as to what she's looking for. But her shoulders soon sagged. Alliteration there.
やっぱりないな。
An indie group whose name began with P. Could it be...
タクはファンタズムってバンドを知ってる？今話題になってるけど。
Looks like you're a little late to the party there, Rimi. As I guessed, there's no way I wouldn't know. I've been to one of their concerts and I owned their CD. Well, how very fortuitous. Rimi smiled ruefully when I nodded. We even encountered their lead singer, Fez, Ayase Kishimoto.
私、そういう情報は結構疎くて、最近になって知ったんだ。
Very slow it seems on the uptake there.
それで、友達に借りようかと思ったんだけど、なかなか手に入らないらしくて、誰も持ってないんだよ。
Well, as luck would have it, you have one friend in particular who happens to have a copy.
だから CD 買うしかないかなって思って、ここ1週間ぐらいあちこち探してみたんだけど、どこも売り切れ中。
Now that is interesting. You'd think a store would keep at least one copy here or there, but for there to be no sign of their current record is, again, quite odd.
次はいつ入るんだろう。
And indeed.
僕持ってる。
Well, turns out you're in luck. Rimi's eyes went round.
持ってるって CD？
I nodded, and Rimi placed her hands on my shoulders. And we're back again. You all know the drill by now. We have 3 paths open to us: the green route, the red route, and the reality route. So basically, start again from place of positivity, and there are it is as Takumi said, doesn't seem to be that many people here in this part of the record store. Her sudden closeness flustered me. The sweet smell of shampoo that came floating from her hair tickled my nose, and I knew my face was getting flushed with heat.
ねえタク、取引しよう。
A deal.
その CD 貸してくれたら、見返りに私。
She wore a terribly serious expression as she watched me. My breath caught in my throat. In return, she would do what? Her cheeks blushing with a trace of embarrassment. Rimi whispered to me as though she made up her mind.
私のこと好きにしていいよ。
え
When I comprehended her meaning, I lost my composure. I couldn't tell if she was joking or being serious. For the moment, I began to look away from her, but before I could, she...
しゃがんで。
Rimi cast a brief glance at our surroundings, then pressed down on my shoulders. Perplexed, I obeyed her. Hugging my knees, I leaned up against shelves of CDs. As I puzzled over her intentions, Rimi crouched in front of me.
膝伸ばして。
So she wanted me to sit directly on the floor. I didn't want to act that much of a delinquent, but Rimi grasped my calves and forced my knees to unbend. I couldn't stop myself from sliding down, legs thrown out in front of me. Suddenly Rimi straddled my legs.
ちょ
し
Rimi laid her pointer finger against my lips. She was telling me to keep quiet. Doing this kind of thing in the middle of the store. Rimi looked down at me bashfully, as though she'd read my mind.
ここインディーズのコーナーってお客さんあんまり来ないよね。こうしてしゃがんだら周りから見えなくなっちゃ
So what about it?
うねえタク
Rimi's face came even closer to mine. Her breath tickled my cheek. A hot sigh. I was too captivated to look away from Rimi's ardent eyes. Her gaze seemed to draw me in. Rimi looked directly back at me. Still looking, she began moving her hands alone, undoing the buttons on my blazer one by one.
何を
Rimi reached for my necktie without answering, pulling me towards her as she loosened it. She moved down to undo my shirt buttons as well.
ねえ人が来る
そうだね人が来たらすごくまずいよね
Her slim hands, belaying her words, slipped past my bare chest and into my shirt. The cool hand slid leisurely across my skin. A bewitching smile. I felt a pang in my chest at the sight of her expression. She was normally so bright and cheerful, and gave off little in the way of a sexual atmosphere.
タクの胸ドキドキしてる
リミってテラエロス
テラエロス
Ah, crap. I blurted out exactly what I was thinking. That alone was enough to unsettle me.
それってどういう意味かな教えてよタク
It means you're amazingly hot. The tips of Rimi's fingers caressed the side of my neck, crawling over my skin. It tickled, and it felt amazing.
私のこと好きにしたくなってきた
Guided by instinct, I nodded vigorously.
じゃあここでしちゃおうか
right out of my ears. Do it here. Did that mean...
何を
And back to reality.
おーい
I abruptly came back to myself. Rimi was waving her hand in front of my face, eyebrows knitted in wonderment. Yeah, there was only so far you could carry that delusion, Takumi Nishijo. But, yeah, best to nip that in the bud before it, goes too far. Alright, adventurers, back again at the crossroads of fate, and this time we're going to go down the path of negativity with the red biorhythm meter there. Let's see what craziness unfolds this time. Well, that's a complete 180 from before.
はい
Smash it. I felt blindsided. I thought Rimi wasn't the sort of girl to act like such a delinquent. Disregarding my confusion, Rimi went on talking even more seriously.
その CD を持ってる人は呪われちゃうの
Now you're starting to sound a little bit like Fizz herself.
たく知らなかったでしょ私の調べた情報によるとねニュージェネの被害者はみんなその CD を買った人なのフェスの予言は CD を買った人にだけ当てはまるフェスの呪いなの
No, it couldn't be.
ニュージェネ事件は全部フェスの仕業急がないと次に死ぬのはタクだ
Yeah, there was no way that that delusion was going to hold water, and that was actually relatively short. Surprisingly short. Abruptly came back to myself. There's Rimi again, waving her hand in front of us. Yeah. That delusion might have held water if not for the fact that Fizz had in fact rescued Takumi from the police, and also was the one who basically instructed him to try and find his D-sword in the first place. Back here again for the final time, and this time to see just exactly what kind of deal that Rimi Sakihata is prepared to make in exchange for Takumi's Phantasm CD. Well, moment of truth.
と
She fell into thought. Maybe she didn't have anything planned. Maybe she just feels grateful for the fact that Takumi would let her listen to the Phantasm album when she couldn't even get her hands on it herself.
見返りなんていらない
It's just a CD. After
それっ
all.
て貸してくれないっていうこと
I don't think that's what he was implying by that. Rimi's shoulders dropped, crestfallen.
そっか、残念。
I think Rimi unfortunately got the wrong idea. Of course, things will get worse if Takumi doesn't speak up about it.
いや違うよ。見返りなんて必要ないってこと普通に貸すよ。
タク、ありがとう。
A wide smile, one that looked amazingly happy. She seemed so charged up. I thought she might throw her arms around me. I almost never did anything to make a girl delighted, so I couldn't help being happy about it as well. Thank goodness I worked up the courage to say it, otherwise that could have been a huge misunderstanding.
美人。じゃあ見返りなしで借ります。
And she's back to her cheerful self.
となれば善は急げ。タクの家にレッツゴー。
And away we go. Back to the base. Somehow, we made it back to my base without any incident. And since we didn't run into any trouble, I believe now is a good time to end this episode of Let's Play ChäoS Head. And when we return adventurers, well, let's see what Rimi Sakihata thinks of Phantasm's album, and hear her thoughts on the matter. As always, adventurers, until next we meet.